Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn how to set up Amazon EKS cluster using eksctl command. So what is Amazon EKS? Amazon EKS is the fully managed container orchestration service which is used for deploying all your containers and whatnot. Okay, and they are going to take care of managing the control plane. We don't have to worry about managing the control plane. All we have to do is setting up the worker node and then deploy our container based applications into the cluster, right? So if you look at the architecture, okay, so this is the EKS cluster architecture, right, which consists of control plane and then multiple worker nodes, right? So AWS is going to take care of managing the control plane, okay, and we are responsible for setting up the worker node, right? So each worker node can be an EC2 instance, right? So this is what we are going to do in this exercise. Okay, this is my website, coachdevops.com. I will be posting the link right below the video as well. Great. So if you look at the prerequisites, what are the things we need in order to set up the EKS cluster, right? We need to have AWS CLI installed, okay, and then we also need to have eksctl installed, which is again a command line tool. Using this, you would be able to set up EKS cluster. Okay, and then we also need to have a kubectl command, right? So using kubectl you can directly access a Kubernetes cluster, right? So these are the three things we need. And then of course you can use your Mac OS, or you can use any one of your EC2 instance, right, where you can actually execute this command in order to create the cluster. Okay, and then once you have these three tools installed, you can go ahead and then configure, right, by executing this command. Okay, so you need to have access key and secret key, right? So once you set up using these command, you will be able to access the EKS cluster, right? I mean, you will be able to access Amazon in order to create the cluster. Okay, awesome. So guys, if you look at my machine, if you see here, this is my machine, right, which is a MacBook. If you see here, I have already installed AWS CLI. Okay, that is this version, right, AWS CLI 2.0 version. And then I also have installed eksctl as well. Okay, and then I also installed kubectl as well. Okay, so if you want to install each of these tools, all you have to do is just click on this link. Okay, I will be providing, if you click on this link, you would be getting the instruction. Okay, awesome, right? Same thing over here, eksctl. If you want to set up eksctl on your instance, just follow the instruction, right? And same thing with kubectl as well. Okay, great. Let's quickly verify if we have our AWS access keys, everything is set up. You see here, access key and secret key has been set up, and this is the region where I'm going to set up the EKS cluster, right? So basically all our prerequisites, everything is done, right? So you need to have these three command line tools installed, and then you also need to make sure that your access key and secret key has been set up. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. So if you see here, the way I'm going to set up EKS cluster, right? Yes, I'm going to use eksctl command. And of course, if you want to know more about eksctl, right, you can definitely type this command eksctl help, right? And then if you want to know more about eksctl create command, you can go ahead and then type this, right? So basically we are going to leverage this particular command, right? Using this we are going to create cluster. Okay, awesome. So let's take a look at here. So basically I'm going to create a cluster with the name of this. Okay, and this is the region I'm going to create cluster, right? And then this is the node group, right? So this is where I'm mentioning about my worker node, right? Okay, so this is the node group name, which is nothing but my nodes. And then my node type is t3.small, right? So basically by default, if you don't specify the count, it is going to create two worker nodes, right? And then you also need to have this word called managed, right? So that's what we are going to do, right? So we are going to create a cluster on this particular region. Okay, and then we are going to have our worker node of this much type, right? This type t3 dot small, and then we are going to create 2 nodes. That is the default count. If you want to create 3, then you need to mention count equal to 3, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and then copy this command. Okay, let me clear here, and then I'm going to go ahead and execute. As you can see here, it is in the process of creating the cluster. So basically, what would happen is, right, so eksctl in turn, it's going to use the CloudFormation template, right, okay, under the hood, and then it's going to create 2 different stack. Okay, so one stack for the master control plane, and then another one is actually for the worker node. Okay, and we can actually see that if you go into AWS console, if you type CloudFormation, you see here right now it is in the process of creating the uh, master plane. Once this is done, then it is going to create the worker node. Okay, so guys, I'm going to pause the video because it can take up to 15 to 20 minutes. Once it is done, then we can resume it. Looks like our cluster has been set up. As you can see here, it says that our cluster is ready in this region. Great. So let's quickly go to CloudFormation here. Wow, see here, like I said, it would create 2 stack, one for the control plane, and then another one is for the management. Another one is for the nodes. Another one for worker node. Right? Great. Fantastic. And of course, you can also go to EKS here. Yeah, see here. This is our cluster. Our cluster is, it says that it is active, and this is the version, right? This is the Kubernetes version. So everything is good so far. And then of course, if you go to EC2, right? And remember, we did set up 2 worker node, which is kind of a default, right? So these are the worker node, right? And let me see if I can expand this. Yeah, see here. So these are our worker nodes, right? Awesome. So let's do one thing. Let's quickly access our cluster. Okay, so I'm going to execute to see kubectl get nodes and to see how many nodes are there. We are able to see the worker node. Perfect. And then if you want to know the namespaces, so these are the namespaces as well, right? So everything is good. Wow, so everything looks good. So why don't we quickly deploy some application, right? So we are going to deploy nginx app. Okay, so let's copy, let's execute this command. Okay, I'm gonna use this. Wow, see here, so it has been deployed, and then you can see here if your deployment is up and running. Wow, see here, so everything is good, guys. Our cluster is up and running, and we are able to deploy nginx app. Okay, and then the last but not the least, if you want to delete your cluster, all you have to do is go ahead and then execute this command. Okay, so this command would go ahead and then delete the cluster, right? So it's going to delete the stack, as you can see here, right? It's going to start with deleting the worker node, right? And once it is done, I'm going to delete the master plane stack as well, right? Awesome, guys. So that's how, guys, that's how you can set up EKS cluster in Amazon. Thank you for watching.